Oh, I can't believe we're finally going.
Did we remember the sunscreen?
Oh, I packed it right here.
What if the most meaningful way to begin a new year isn't with fireworks or grand resolutions, but with a simple journey taken hand in hand with the people you love most? This is the story of Huyen and Day, who brought Day's mother, Sam, and little Maya to the beautiful coastal city of Da Nang for a heartfelt spring getaway. From rising above the clouds at Bana Hills to watching the sunrise by the sea, their trip became more than a vacation. It became a celebration of family, gratitude, and the quiet magic of togetherness. At the gentle beginning of the new year, when spring breezes still carried the cool whisper of winter and the promise of brighter days ahead, Huyen and Dee decided to give Dee's mother a gift far more meaningful than anything wrapped in paper, a family journey filled with love, laughter, and togetherness. They chose the beautiful coastal city of Da Nang as their destination, a place where mountains meet the sea and where the sunrise seems to paint hope across the sky. For Dee's mother, it had been years since she last traveled far from home, and the thought of seeing a new place with her children and grandchildren made her eyes sparkle with quiet excitement. Sam carefully helped her prepare her suitcase the night before, folding her favorite scarf and reminding her to bring comfortable shoes for walking. Little Maya, barely able to contain her joy, kept asking how many more hours until they could leave, her tiny backpack already packed with snacks and a small stuffed toy she refused to travel without. The morning they departed, the air felt different, lighter somehow, as if even the wind understood the significance of this trip. Huyen arrived early with warm breakfast buns and hot tea so everyone could eat together before setting off. Dee carried the luggage to the car while gently reminding his mother to take her time stepping down the stairs. There was tenderness in every small action, the way Sam adjusted a blanket over Dee's mother's knees during the ride, the way Huyen double-checked that Maya was buckled safely into her seat, and the way Dee glanced at his family through the rearview mirror, his heart quietly overflowing with gratitude. As the car rolled forward and the city slowly faded behind them, Maya pressed her face against the window, pointing excitedly at passing fields and distant hills. Her laughter filled the space, bright and pure like the first blossom of spring. Inside the car, conversations flowed naturally. Dee's mother began reminiscing about the early years of Dee's childhood, how mischievous he used to be, how he once insisted on flying a kite in the rain. Sam laughed warmly at the stories, while Huyen listened with genuine affection, feeling as though she was discovering new layers of the man she loved. Dee pretended to protest the old tales, but his smile betrayed him. In that moving car, somewhere between familiar roads and the promise of the sea ahead, they were not burdened by work schedules or daily worries. They were simply a family. 4 adults and 1 bright little soul, sharing a beginning-of-year journey that symbolized renewal. For Huyen and Dee, this trip was not just about visiting a new destination, it was about honoring Dee's mother, cherishing Sam's presence, nurturing Maya's childhood memories, and reminding themselves that true happiness is found in the warmth of family traveling side by side into a brand new year. When they finally arrived in Da Nang, the salty scent of the ocean greeted them like a gentle blessing for the new year. And without wasting any time, the family set out for their first adventure at Bana Hills, a place often described as a dream suspended between earth and sky. The journey upward by cable car felt almost symbolic, as if they were leaving behind the heaviness of the past year and ascending towards something lighter and more hopeful. As the cabin lifted higher, clouds drifted around them like soft white curtains, and Maya gasped in wonder, pressing both hands against the glass as though she could touch the sky itself. Day's mother sat quietly beside Huyen, her eyes reflecting the endless layers of mountains below. She had seen many springs in her lifetime, but there was something about this moment, being surrounded by her children and grandchild, that made this one feel especially precious. When they stepped out onto the mountaintop, cool air wrapped around them, refreshing and invigorating. The famous Golden Bridge stretched gracefully ahead, its giant stone hands rising from the mist as if protecting every visitor who crossed it. Sam quickly volunteered to be the family photographer, encouraging everyone to stand close together while Maya insisted on holding her grandmother's hand. Day stood slightly behind them, watching as his mother laughed freely, her face illuminated not only by the soft sunlight, but by the unmistakable glow of happiness. Huyen gently adjusted Day's mother's scarf when the wind grew stronger, and in that simple gesture, a silent bond between daughter-in-law and mother deepened. They wandered slowly through the charming European-style village above the clouds, stopping to admire blooming spring flowers arranged along the stone paths. Maya ran ahead, her small footsteps echoing with delight, while Sam followed closely, making sure she didn't stray too far. Day and Huyen walked beside his mother at an unhurried pace, listening as she spoke about the early days of raising Day, about sacrifices made quietly, about dreams she once held for him, and about how seeing him now, surrounded by love and stability, fulfilled those dreams beyond expectation. Day felt his throat tightened with emotion. He realized that this trip was more than a vacation. It was a quiet tribute to the woman who had shaped his life. At lunchtime, they gathered around a warm wooden table in a cozy restaurant overlooking the mountains. Steam rose gently from their dishes as laughter and conversation intertwined. They raised their glasses in a heartfelt toast to health, peace, and togetherness in the year ahead. In that mountaintop moment, suspended between clouds and sunlight, they understood something profound. Happiness does not come from grand achievements or distant ambitions. It lives in shared meals, in hands held against the wind, in stories retold with affection. And as the afternoon light softened, they continued exploring with renewed energy, knowing that this journey was weaving memories that would remain long after the season changed. After their unforgettable day above the clouds, the rhythm of the trip gently shifted from breathtaking heights to the soothing embrace of the sea. Early the next morning, while the horizon was still brushed with shades of lavender and pale gold, the family made their way to the shoreline of Da Nang. The ocean stretched endlessly before them, calm and luminous, as if welcoming the first sunrise of their new year together. Huyen walked barefoot on the cool sand, feeling the tide kiss her ankles, while Dee stood beside his mother, pointing toward the distant fishing boats that floated like tiny silhouettes against the rising sun. There was something deeply symbolic about that dawn. The way darkness slowly surrendered to light mirrored the quiet renewal taking place within each of them. Maya's laughter soon rang across the beach as she chased the retreating waves, her tiny footprints forming delicate patterns that the sea would gently erase. Sam joined her, helping her gather seashells and build a small sandcastle near the water's edge. Dee's mother watched them with moist eyes, her heart softened by the innocence of childhood unfolding right before her. She turned to Huyen and spoke softly about how quickly time passes, how children grow before we are ready, and how moments like these are the true treasures of life. Huyen listened attentively, her hand instinctively reaching to hold the older woman's fingers, silently promising that she would help protect these precious bonds for years to come. Later that afternoon, a gentle breeze swept across the shore, and Dee surprised Maya with a colorful kite he had quietly purchased from a nearby vendor. Together with Sam, he showed her how to hold the string firmly while waiting for the perfect gust of wind. When the kite finally soared into the bright blue sky, Maya squealed with delight, her face lifted upward in pure wonder. Dee glanced at Huyen, and in that shared look was a deep understanding. This was the kind of childhood memory they wanted to give her, one woven with family warmth and simple joys. Meanwhile, Dee's mother sat comfortably on a wooden bench, watching her family framed against the vast ocean, feeling an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. She had once prayed that her son would grow into a man capable of love and responsibility. Now she saw that prayer fully answered. As evening descended, the sky transformed into hues of orange and rose, and the entire family gathered for one final photograph. Standing close together with the sea behind them, they smiled not just for the camera, but for the journey they had shared. The trip was coming to an end, yet none of them felt sadness. Instead, there was a quiet assurance that this beginning of year escape had strengthened something essential within them. It reminded them that no matter how demanding life might become, they would always find their way back to one another, like waves returning faithfully to the shore, carrying love forward into every new season that awaited them.
Hello, xin chào tất cả các khán giả của kênh Live Single RV. Vậy là câu chuyện của chúng ta ngày hôm nay đã kết thúc tại đây. Trong câu chuyện của ngày hôm nay của chúng ta đã kể về tình tiết đó chính là việc gia đình Huyền Đệ và bé May A cùng với bà Sam là mẹ chồng của Huyền đã có kế hoạch tổ chức một buổi đi du lịch đầu năm. Đây là khoảnh khắc thời gian của gia đình có thời gian để nghỉ ngơi và cùng nhau đi khám phá những địa điểm mới, ờ, để biết thêm về cuộc sống ở bên thế giới ngoài bên kia. Cả ba người đã lên kế hoạch rất là chi tiết về chuyến đi. Mọi người sẽ quyết định là đi du lịch ở một vùng cao ngay gần điểm Huyền và Đệ đang sống để khám phá và trải nghiệm cho bé May A được biết thêm được nhiều môi trường mới, môi trường sống mới khác với cuộc sống tại nông trại thường ngày. Bà Sang cũng rất đồng tình với ý kiến của hai con và cả ba người đang chuẩn bị hành lý để đi du lịch. Mọi tình tiết hấp dẫn về câu chuyện gia đình Huyền Đệ và bé May A sẽ còn được kể ở các video tiếp theo. Các bạn đừng quên bấm vào nút subscribe đăng ký kênh sẽ nhận được thông báo mới nhất về các câu chuyện sẽ được phát sóng hàng ngày trên kênh Live Single RV nha. Cảm ơn các bạn rất nhiều đã luôn theo dõi và ủng hộ Huyền Đệ. Đừng quên bấm vào giỏ hàng được gắn trên video để ủng hộ Huyền Đệ các sản phẩm nếu các sản phẩm đó phù hợp với các bạn. Việc các bạn ủng hộ mua sản phẩm của Huyền Đệ sẽ giúp cho Huyền Đệ có thêm kinh phí để sản xuất nội dung hơn, phục vụ các khán giả tốt hơn. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại các bạn. Bye bye.